Hello, hello. Welcome for another episode of the Author Spotlight. Hey, it's the host with the most, your man, Darren M. Palmer. So excited to be with you today. Oh, yeah, I got a special treat for you today. I got my girl, Janice Doan, on today. So excited. I'm about to let her come in. But I want to share a little bit about Dr. Janice. She graduated from USC Dental School in 2009. She is currently practicing general dentistry in beautiful sunny San Diego, aka for my people who from the South, Dago. She is also an author. She co-authored her book with her sister called Keys to a Healthy Smile After 40: Seven Secrets to Feeling 7 Years Younger, and is currently available on Amazon. Together, Dr. Justene Doan and her sister run A Plus Family Dentistry in San Diego, recognized as top 40 under 40. Congratulations, girl.
Thank
Dentist
you.
in America in 2015. They have been featured in the media as exceptional dentists. So I shared a little bit, Janice, about your bio, but if you don't mind, fill in any of the gaps that I might have left out in your bio because you have an amazing story, you and your sister both.
Yes, absolutely. My sister and we came with our parents to the United States when I was about 11 years old. After the Vietnam War, we have tried to escape numerous times. Unfortunately, we weren't able to make it. So then we were sent to concentration camp, and they separate my dad from the rest of us, the family. And after many trial and error trying to find him, my mom finally found him, but he wasn't able to come back to stay with us. So I get raised by my grandparents while my mom went to go live with my dad on the outside of Vietnam. When we get here, I didn't know any English. I didn't know anything about the United States. It looks like a totally different universe to me. So I have to learn from beginning how to adapt, where I am, and learn the language and go myself from there. And luckily, I was able to find the strength and the courage to get through life. Being a younger in a new place is really, really hard. I didn't have any friends growing up. My smile might look great today, but it was horrible when I first came to the United States. Because in Vietnam, I never remember having a toothbrush to even take care of my oral health. So when I came here, I was so different from my friends. But now, looking back, I'm glad that I was able to go through all that because those struggles have built me into the person I am today. And I learned a lot of lessons along the way. One is to work really hard. Two is to stay positive, and three is to never give up. So if you want something, you just have to go for it, and anything is possible.
I'm over. I told you, do not let that little pretty smile fool you. This woman is a package of dynamite. She's TNT. I mean, she has given us value bombs already. Just think about what Dr. Janice has shared with us. For those of you who out there who are thinking about doing a book yourself, here you have a young lady who came to this country. She could have had every excuse in the world for her to be a victim, to look at, hey, I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a shot. I mean, people did me wrong. I was bullied. I mean, all the things that a lot of us, and I'm not belittling the issue because I know it's some trauma, some things that we all go through, and some more than others. But I'm telling you, what she brought up with those pointers, it can happen for you. You can turn your life around. You can turn your smile around. It doesn't matter where you come from. She came from a different country, was faced with difficulty of not having her father around. To double up on that, then her mom had to end up leaving to be able to go and help out with her father. And she still made it. Didn't even know the language. So you can't get 1 or 2 pages worth of content written. Seriously? You don't think because you grew up in the ghetto or you grew up in the hood or you grew up in a trailer park, you don't think that you can do something? You at least knew the language. You at least had something to start with a base. And so just think about it. And Dr. Janice, I'm on a point right here. It's not a rant right now, but I want the audience to pay attention to this. What if someone dropped you off in China, or dropped you off in the province of China outside of Shanghai or something? How would you adapt? I mean, it's easy, especially for our Western culture, for those who don't travel that much. It's easy for us to get small-minded, narrow-minded, so to speak, when we think of the rest of the world, because most of us, and I'm not bashing us, you know, I'm American, I love America, the whole nine, but I'm saying we have to think bigger, because if someone dropped you off in the province of China, how would you adapt? You know, how fast would you know Mandarin? How would you be able to go pick up? How would you get through a subway or whatnot in China or whatnot? How would you adapt to the laws? And so when I'm hearing Dr. Janice share her story, it just sticks out to me. And I'm so glad we had her on the show, because just her first comment is just taking me to a next level for as my mindset anyway. And if you don't mind, Dr. Janice, share a little bit more. You could have wrote about so much. You could have wrote about so much, okay? Why this book as your first book?
I wrote this book as my first book because it has a special place in my heart. When I came here to America, you know, sitting in a small classroom with, you know, all my Caucasian friends who have beautiful teeth, and they would make fun of me because I have, you know, dark stained crooked teeth, and you know, they didn't want to sit next to me. They didn't want to be my friends, and it made me feel so introverted about myself. And I went through high school, teenager years, and adolescent up to college, and I didn't have any friends. I couldn't be myself because I'm always constantly, you know, feel not very confident, insecure, afraid to put myself out there just because of the way I was looking. Like I said, I have a beautiful smile today, but it wasn't always that way. It was, you know, really hard being the person that I was at that point, because people would so easily judge you on your look. And so when I became a dentist, I thought I knew everything I need to know about, you know, making my smile better. But that was just the beginning tipping point. It wasn't until after I started practicing dentistry that I realized that I'm not the only one. A lot of my patients also going through that, where they cannot express themselves. They cannot be who they really are and living up to their full potential, because part of themselves is holding back because of the way that they look or the way that it makes them feel about themselves. So I wanted to share a message, and that's why I chose to write this book, is that it's not too late. It could be any stage of your life, you know, but it starts whenever you're ready to take that journey. So Keys to a Healthy Smile After 40 is just the right perfect title for my book. And I'm just really passionate about sharing my message that, you know, it's not just about tea, or it's not just about your smile. It's how it makes you feel, and how it makes you be able to connect with other people around you, how you can contribute back to society, how you can do more for your community. When you're really living up to your potential, things gonna be like magic.
You know, and I believe in that magic. I had a gentleman in the Houston area. He has a radio station, and he's worked with great people from, you know, like anybody in the music industry. It's kind of old school. I don't want to say it's old school, but like from Michael Jackson, them all the way back, all that kind of stuff. But the thing that he brought up, when I'm hearing you talk about this after 40, he was sharing about, he made an investment in his own mouth and his own teeth, because he was saying that was the gateway, so to speak, that for him to do business, for him to be, he's already like a 6'4", 6'5" guy, slender, but he said that, you know, his smile,
Right.
you know, that you don't understand the value of your smile, or being able to walk into a room with confidence. How many deals, with him being an actual salesperson before he was able to do that, and we're all in sales one way or another, but by how you walk in with confidence had a lot to do with his smile. And he said that people were like, oh my gosh, you're this age and you're working on your smile and all that. He's like, you're absolutely right, because you know, the rooms I'm going into with the people, I need the confidence that I need, and I need for them. He was saying that you got one chance to make a first impression. And he was talking about when he walked in the room, and now he's got these, big pearly white teeth, it makes a first impression where people remember, hey, that's that tall guy with that, great smile. So when I'm hearing you share that, so many people, are misled into thinking, oh, that's just something you have to take care of when you're in junior high or you're in high school, college, the latest. But, after you get to a certain age or after you're married and you got kids, oh, just let your teeth just go to hell in a handbasket, so to speak. But that's not true. And I'm glad you shared that. Have you seen that with some of your clients, their confidence level, whether it's helping them perform at a higher rate than those who might not have that right smile?
Absolutely. I have a lot of professionals that are running like high businesses that are making a lot of money, but they're not very happy about themselves. And so when they come in, they're very reserved, they're not very talkative. When they talk, they kind of like stand back or they cover their mouth. So then that way I don't get to see it. And I would ask them like, what's going on? This is, you've been coming in a few times already. Why are you still, awkward like this? So they say they're not happy with their smile. So I have one person, she is a very high executive person who works in a hospital. She's doing really, really well, but she never really take very good care of her teeth. So, at the age of 40-ish, 48 or so, she was ready to take that next step. So she came to me asking me to help her. And of course, I told her the solutions and then we worked out a plan. And after we finished with her treatment, she was like a changed woman. Like she dropped 20 pounds. She started dating. She had a new body to go with her new look. And she was just more confident. And it's just so amazing to see that transformation from her. And she just actually loving life so much more. And it helped her to find a better job. Like she was doing good already. Now it's even like open her up to even like better opportunity because she's actually feeling that confidence to really go after what it is that she wanted.
I love that. I mean, we understand of getting an ROI if it's with Facebook ads or YouTube ads. We understand the importance of going to a prestigious university to be able to network with the right people to get a return on investment. We even understand sometimes when it comes to our clothes or how our health can deal with that similar situation. But so many times we want to forsake when it comes to our smile, or when it comes to how we look, how we present ourselves with a Colgate smile, so to speak. And we miss out on that opportunity because, like you said, she wouldn't even hire. She was already doing great.
Right.
She was already doing okay, but she went to the next level. And you got to ask yourself, how many of us, because of our thinking, that's why it's important to change your mindset. And when we think about mindset, we get so caught up in meditation and all that. We're not saying you don't need to meditate, but it's important not to ignore like your mouth. Don't because that's playing a role on you. And, you can even see people if they're taking pictures, they won't take a certain type of picture because of how their smile is or whatnot. And when you're talking about the practice that you all have, could you share with the audience a little bit more of what do you all actually do? Is it more like being like an orthodontist type practice? Is it more of a whitening? Could you just give them a little bit more detail of what you and your sister do?
Yes, so we are a general practice. We do all type of procedure, including filling, crown, bridges, Invisalign, which is a type of braces, and then also just a common or like very simple like whitening or bonding can really make and change the way that you feel about your smile. So we do everything, even like implant, we do full mouth reconstruction, we do gum surgery, we do root canal therapy. So we do everything in one location. So it's very convenient for patients to just come to our office and not have to be referred to a different office.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Hey, I got a selfish question too, because I've heard this as well, and I want the audience to know about it too. Is it true with the whitening? Because I've heard some people say, "Oh no, I'm not going to do that. My teeth are going to hurt." Is that a sensitivity level too when it comes to whitening? I know that it's blowing up now as far as whitening. What has been your experience as far as the whitening? Is it something that takes away where your teeth are real sensitive, or just depending on who's doing the proper procedure with you?
Sure. So there are different ways for a person to wind their teeth. The first and the easiest is in the office, and it takes about an hour to an hour and a half. So that system is kind of like basically bleaching your teeth. So it's not taking away any of your enamel, your tooth structure. It's penetrating inside depth of the nerve and winding from the inside out. So some people who lose their enamel at an earlier age, say for example from grinding or clenching, so they are more susceptible for sensitivity because the nerve is being exposed as they bleach their teeth. With those type of patients, I offer the alternative for at-home take-home tray. So then those are more easily controlled and less concentration. So it's a lot easier for them to go through the winding process. And then also the last would be just a basic whitening toothpaste, and a good electric toothbrush can help to brighten their smile right away.
See, that's why you got to have an expert. That's why you going behind the scenes with someone. You having her on the author spotlight. And with this practice now, I got to, how in the world, I know people are thinking this, how in the world is Dr. Janice creating content for books when they're doing all of that in their general practice? It doesn't seem so general when what she just shared with me. She got a practice, she got a home life. She stays in shape. She got a life in a community. How in the world is this woman? I mean, is she Wonder Woman or what? But people are wondering that. So could you give us some hacks? What are some things that you do? Is it getting up early in the morning? Is it a ghostwriter? How do you create content?
So the content that we created was just basically making it a priority. So, there's a lot of people is trying to balance life. You can try to balance it, but you can't multitask and do everything all at once and make sure that everything is perfect. There's not such a thing for that, or I haven't found it yet. So it's just a matter of making it a priority. So my sister and I, we've been asked by a lot of our patients about how do I take care of my teeth as I get older? Like now I'm 30, now I'm 40, now I'm 50. Like I notice my teeth are changing. Like what can I do to make them stay like it used to be? And they would bring out like, photos from when they were 20 or 30 years old. They want me to make them look like that. And I'm like, okay, so these are the steps. It's very, very simple. So we keep getting a lot of questions being asked, and we realize we don't want to just help patients in our community. We want to help people throughout the whole world. So making it a priority to write a book help us to expand and reach more people. So it just, making sure what is priority. Like for me, writing a book, spending time with my son who's 4 years old, taking care of my patients. So I get up at like 5:30, go to the gym, get my day started, crank it up. I get help, for, whatever I need to do at home. Like the things I don't like to do is washing dishes, go grocery shopping. So those things I have apps and I have other people to help me with. Delegate. Just delegate the things you don't want to do.
She said the D word, delegate. I want to bring that up. I want to focus on that, and I just want to add on to that because it's important for those, especially for those who are entrepreneurs out there, those who are even trying to climb the corporate leaders. I'm going back to mindset again. It's about what's important to you. You heard what Dr. Janice brought up. She talked to you about prioritizing. She talked about how she gets up early in the morning to make sure that she gets it done. It's no excuses there. You see what I'm saying? And the things that really aren't the IGAs are really important to her to a certain point, but still need to get done. She sends that out. She delegates that to other people and still able to accomplish more. You know what? It's nothing. I had to get over this, Dr. Janice, myself. You can be macho all you want to, and I'm not knocking people who do this, but I realized, Darren, you gotta let it go, man. It's not meant for you to be mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
For those who want to do, you want to get your cardio, okay. But if I'm mowing the lawn, and then I'm in Texas, and so now all of a sudden I got allergies. I'm down for a day and a half. I'm not looking right when I'm able to do shows, or I'm not having my stuff right when I'm with my staff. That is not best for me to be, because I got an issue because of how I might have grew up of, oh man, if you're a real man, you need to mow your yard. It's not about that. And some men, and just doesn't matter what gender, but you might want to think about it when it comes to groceries or even cleaning. But
Mm-hmm.
if we don't break past those paradigms, you'll start thinking to yourself, who you think you are? Do you know where you come from? And can't you clean your own stuff up? What you got somebody else coming in here to clean? When you could be benefiting another family or helping someone else by giving them that opportunity, because this is what they do and they do that very well, and it frees you up. And I'm bringing that up because let's go back. Let's rewind. Dr. Janice came from Vietnam. Tough situation. So now I want to dive in, Dr. Janice, with the success that you've been able to have. Could you share us how you've been able to overcome those struggles in the mind? Because you came from an impoverished situation. And now, how do you deal with where you currently are when you know what's best for you as a business owner, as a mom, the whole nine, that this is going to help you? But do you ever have to deal with that little voice of you coming across from Vietnam of, I didn't even have a toothbrush, and now I got people who will pick up my groceries or who will clean my car out for me? How do you handle that shift in mindset?
So the shift of mindset, it was really, really difficult because I grew up being very frugal. Whatever money that we have to save, like my parent, when we came here, they were too old for them to find decent jobs. So the only job that was available for them was a sewing factory. So basically like a sweatshop. And they would bring home clothes and we would help them off, my siblings and I. And we make things which is costing us or paying us 1 cent at an item. So from 1 cent, we were able to save to $100. That's like a big deal. Like having someone to go grocery shopping for me. It's like $14 for their salary, not including the food. But it allowed me to spend more time with my son. Like, that's priceless. I work a lot of hours to be able to take care of my patients. For me to exchange in that, like at the beginning, I couldn't do that. Like, he's 4 now. So the first 2 years, it was just like, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. It would just get to the point where, yes, I can do it, but I'm so tired at the end of the day. I have nothing else to give to anyone else because I'm just so tired. Working 8 hours a day, going home and see him, like I'm not my best when I'm with him anymore. I'm just, not that I'm miserable, but I'm just so tired. I don't have the energy. So, being able to delegate, it make me so, so happy because I'm able to spend those precious time with him whenever I want, not when it's convenient for me. So seeing that allow me to see the difference. And then from there on, I just cannot go backward.
Hey, I feel you, Dr. Janice. I mean, I understand that wholeheartedly. And I would just want, those who are listening, who are tuned in to this, is to make sure that you understand the value of what really matters, the value of your time. That's priceless, and especially time with those who you care about the most. And for you to just, push that off to, like, you might be in the room, but are you really present? That's something that's what Dr. Janice is bringing up. Yeah, you might, well, I'm there with my kids, but you're so wore out, you're tired, you got so much other stuff that you have to do. If you could just delegate that just a little bit, what it would open up for you to have time. Now, if the kid want to run around a little bit, you got a little bit more energy to run around. If they want to watch something on YouTube, you're not falling asleep on them, the whole time, because you go, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And I got to go do the dishes. I got to do this. I got to do a load of laundry. I got to do this. You can't do all of that. You can, but you're going to, definitely see it under your eyes. You're going to see if you're running into something. It's not worth losing your life or losing that time with family, friends, and loved ones because you won't just delegate, and off the ego. And Dr. Janice, please share with the audience too. We looked at you, we see how you create content, but could you share with us too, what made you believe I want to deal with that again too before we get off the mindset. What made you believe that you could write a book when so many have failed at the task? Especially you thinking, who am I? You know, I'm just girl who people were laughing at. Who would want to hear from me? You could have let all those little voices thinking that you're less than get in the way, but you were able to overcome that. So could you share that with us? What made you believe that you could write a book when so many have failed at the task?
Absolutely. English is my second language, so it's definitely not, writing has always been horrible for me growing up.
Mhm.
Like, I did not do well in school, especially English classes. I always get C and stuff like that. And even college, like, I have to retake a few courses just because, English is not my strong subject. So for me to think that I'm going to write a book is, you're right. There's a lot of things going through my head, like, who do I think I am? Why do people think I'm interesting? What is it about me that people want to get to know more? But then I realized that it's not about what other people is thinking. It's about what it is that I want to do. And what I want to do is to help more people, not just in my community, but help more people to understand the importance of being healthy, and that taking care of their teeth is going to be able to help them to smile better, to be more confident. So, a lot of time I could, just let it be and just say, no, I don't have nothing to share with the world. But then I realized that it is my responsibility as an expert to educate people who don't know any better. There's a lot of myth about dentistry that used to be one way and now is no longer that way. I still have a lot of patients come to me and say, I hate going to the dentist. I don't like being here. And I'm like, okay, I get it, and it's nothing against me. And they just haven't get used to modern dentistry. So I feel like it's my obligation in my healthcare professional to educate the public about what's going on. And so when it comes down to it, that responsibility, that duty, that I have to share was greater than my fear. So the fear of putting myself out there, being vulnerable, like, I don't like it. I don't like being in the spotlight. I don't like being in the, public eye and having people question me this and that. But I overcome that, and you can too. It's not just something I can do and that's it. You can do it too. You just have to face fear. And speaking of fear, like my son, he's 4 years old. I just took him to the zoo, and there's a zip line, and he's only like 4 years old. He's short little guy, and he wanted to go up this really high zip line and go down all the way. I mean, I see adult crying as they go through that, but this 4 years old kid, he loved it. He climbed up, so confident. He got on there, he climbed down, and he zip lined down. And he was so happy, and I learned a lot from being his mom and watching him, because, when you're younger, you want to do so much. There's no fear holding you back. As you get older, you start to have like different things holding you back because of your personal experience of like not succeeding or failing, but you don't get back up after that. You let it hold you back. So, I'm not going to let my own fear take over. I want to be able to teach my son that whatever you fear, you just have to confront it, and it's going to be okay. So I want to teach him those type of lessons.
I love that. You have to face the fear, and that's where courage comes in. You feel fear, but you move anyway. Don't be crippled by fear. That's the main thing. And then there's something exhilarating about when you're operating past fear. When you get past fear, it's like, wow, I was thinking that was nothing but a shadow. Now this is what I was supposed to do. So I can visualize your son hitting that zip line, and he's enjoying himself, feeling the wind in his face, just feeling like, wow, I'm like a bird, I'm flying. He's having a great time, instead of going back with that weight on him of, oh, if I would have just got up there. Oh, if I would have just tried. Oh, if I could have done. And I want those who are tuned in to make sure that you think about that in your own life, like what Dr. Janice's son is going through. experiencing and living life. For those who are moving and going to the next level, look at the enthusiasm that Dr. Janice brings to dentistry, because she's operating in her purpose. She knows that it's her fiduciary responsibility to encourage others and let them know, because if they don't have gum disease, if they're not being infected, if their blood system is not being poisoned because they're having the right information, think about what that means for the legacy of those families out there when they have somebody else who's able to continue to bring an income in, someone else who's able to help that person make a tough decision when they're growing up. There's so many ramifications behind this that goes beyond dentistry that she's doing, and she understands that it's a bigger picture here. So by her doing that, that allowed her and her sister to continue to elevate in dentistry and beyond dentistry, because they're not just into dentistry, they're into lives, helping lives, for people to live a better life. That's what they're actually into. So when they take it from that approach, then it's beyond dentistry now, because people, when they come in, they know, hey, these people care about me. They're doing their due diligence. They're staying current. They're continuing to evolve and learn. They're able to move with modern age technology. They give me a better experience with great customer service, and they actually genuinely care about me, and they have a story of their own, and they can identify with it. So I thank you so much, Dr. Janice, for sharing that. Could you share with us too, what has been some of your experiences since you overcame the fear? What has been some of the benefits of being an author? Whether it be how your parents viewed it, how your colleagues, how you even looked at yourself, just share even some reports or feedback from those who've read the book and what they thought, or opportunities that it is giving you because you were able to get the book done on other platforms. Could you share that with the audience, some of the benefits of being a published author?
Absolutely. So being a published author has opened a lot of doors for me. I was able to be featured on media, like on different TV shows, different well-known publications. It allowed me to connect with other entrepreneur on a higher level that I wouldn't otherwise have access to. It allowed my patient to view me as an expert or authority in my field of work. So when they come to me, they saw that they're very, very impressed. As far as my colleague too, they're like, wow, I can't believe you have all this time, like you're doing all this, just like you were mentioning, and now you like writing a book. How do you get to do all that? And it allowed me to help push them through their own mindset to do more, to give more, because they able to. It just, they themselves holding themselves back. And then just in the community, I'm able to do a lot more nonprofit organization to help spread out other things that are important for me. So allow me to have a platform to share that. Speaking is not my thing, but now it's open myself to being a speaker, in different platform as well. So it's just so many different opportunity, and I'm just so grateful and overwhelmed with excitement and happiness. Otherwise, before that, I was still doing okay. Like, it's not like I wasn't, but it's just so different from before to now. And I highly encourage anyone, and everyone has a story that you can share. So if you have it in you, just do it, because it's going to open you up to so many wonderful opportunities.
You heard what she said. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. You heard what Dr. Janice shared. And Dr. Janice, I thought it the same thing about myself. I thought, I hear it so much, it become cliche, especially if you're into professional development or personal development. Just write a book. You're going to be an expert. But I'm not. Dr. Janice, I didn't pay her to say that. I'm not telling you this just to tell you that. It's something different happened. People look at you differently when you are an author. I don't care if you're on the New York Times bestselling list. I don't care if you're on Amazon. If you have published a book and you at least tried to do somewhat of a decent job on that book, I'm telling you, I've seen opportunities that, like she said, she was doing okay beforehand. I was doing okay before. But that book, for me or for her to sit here and lie to you, we would be lying to you if we didn't tell you that it's some incentives behind it. You can reap some fringe benefits by having a book and open up doors. And also just think about it. Everyone loves a winner. Think about what her clients think. Oh, well, this is my dentist right here. Yeah, she's an author. Yeah. Yeah, what about your dentist? Okay. That's why I go over here. I mean, it's a pride. It's like being a part of alumni or whatnot that you're proud of that's winning and you're excited to tell everybody that's where you went to school at. I mean, so if you got someone or if you're a professional or you got someone that you support, evidently that you're going to their practice, of course you want to share with others about them. So that's word of mouth. That's less marketing dollars that you have to use. She's bringing more people in. You're keeping great retention with your business because people feel tied to you because they're able to be a part of the process of you continue to evolve and grow. And, and so don't take that lightly when it comes to sharing a book and how it can operate and be used in a practice that you already have or in a business that you already have, or if you're working in a corporate environment. When they're looking at soft skills, what are you doing outside the cubicle that separates you from somebody from Singapore who's already speaking 6 languages and already has several MBAs and all that right there? You can't compete on the educational level. So how are you going to work around that with your soft skills to say, hey, this person is able to adapt. They're able to do things outside of the norms of a classroom. And that's what we're really looking for to have a part of this company as we move forward and we transition. So thank you, Dr. Janice, for that. Last but not least, Dr. Janice, please share with our audience, how can they connect with you? How can they get their teeth whitened? Just anything. How can they buy the book? Any social media handles, websites, whatever you have, please give it to us right now, ma'am.
Yes, absolutely. And I would be so grateful if you guys can follow me and check it out. To get a first chapter of the book for free, you can go to Keys to a Healthy Smile After 40. So it's just like the title of the book, Keys to a Healthy Smile After 40.com. And you can check it out on there. My practice is called A+ Family Dentistry. So APLUS familydentistry.com. So you can find out more about the services that I do in my practice. And then we also on Instagram and Facebook. So it's just A+ Family Dentistry. The plus is PLUS. So just A+ Family Dentistry on Facebook and Instagram.
All right. Y'all heard it from the source, Dr. Janice. She has given us the information. Make sure that you reach out to her, have her as a guest on your show, invite her to come in, whatever you got to do. If you're in the Dago area, definitely I will be out there for some stuff, for some networking stuff as well. So I'm definitely going to have to hit you up, Dr. Janice.
Yes, please.
In the California area. And maybe I might go zip lining. We might go zip lining. We get out and have a great time. But I want you to share, before we leave here today, share with that person, because you've been there. Share with that person who's thinking to themselves, Dr. Janice, that, you know what, she's brilliant, she's smart, she's a wonderful mom, she's got a great business, she's an author. I see why she has a book. But I want you to go back to that Dr. Janice who was just coming over here, who's dealing with people picking, feeling less than, I'm not making great grades. Why should that person write a book? Why? And they know they have a story, or they feel like they're good at something, but they don't think that they have the notoriety of a Oprah Winfrey or a Bill Gates or Carlos Slim. So if you could share with that person the importance why they should still share their story, regardless of if they're on Ellen or if they're on late night TV or not. Could you share with that person out there who might be feeling down because they're not popular or don't have 1 million likes on Instagram?
Sure. I think that the first thing that you have to think about is, why are you doing that? And it cannot be for someone else. It has to be for you. If you feel like it's not something you want to do, maybe you have to revisit and put some thought about what it is that you want to do, because it's a struggle. It's a long road, writing a book, living life, getting up to the next level. You're going to get obstacle, because if everything is easy, everyone can do it, right? It's not going to just be you. So whatever it is that is worth it for you, then go for it and don't look back, and just kind of make sure that you go full force, be obsessed over it, and just get it done. Because when you get it done and get on the other side, it's just gonna feel so amazing. And at this time, like, if you're not sure if it's for you, like, if you look at me, I'm just an ordinary person. Like, I'm not famous, I don't have followers, I'm not anyone particular, you know. I'm just someone living in San Diego and having, you know, a 4 years old. Like, so, you know, it's not about that. It's about how can you make a difference in this world? What is it that you want to leave your legacy, you know? Because I have a son. I have to think about what kind of world do I want him to grow up in? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind for him? So that's what motivates me. But you're going to have different motivation for yourself. So you just have to kind of, you know, dig deep within you to find out the reason why you want to do something. And that reason has to be because you want to do it, and not because I tell you to do it, or, you know, Mr. Palmer tell you to do it, or the word telling you what to do. You can't let that affect you, because you're going to go, but you're going to fail. It's not going to be strong enough for you to carry through.
I love it. I love it. And that point that she brought up, you have to be obsessed. And people make it like obsessed is bad. You know, if you trying to be obsessed about somebody who don't want to be with you or something, I can see how that'd be bad. But when it comes to your goals, when it comes to leaving a legacy, when it comes to making sure that that young man has something to eat on the table or something, you have to be. So you can't just leave, you can't be fickle about that. Oh well, I hope he has something to eat later on. It doesn't work that way. You do whatever it takes to get it done. And I love the point of you sharing with those who are tuned in the importance of you have to do it for yourself, because on this journey, on this road, yeah, it looks cute and everybody got their book and all that, and they have the, you know, the little rollout stuff, and they have the you know, the book signing. But are you willing to put in that extra work? Are you willing to stay up late? Are you willing to deal with a manuscript where somebody gives it back for you to redo it again? Or when it comes to the investment that it takes, the monetary things that you have to do as well, plus time and effort to get a book done. Not saying that it can't be done, but that's where your why will kick in and supersede anything else that you have in your mind, because you got to realize that somebody else is depending on this book. It's bigger than me, and it's going to be here for years to come, generations to come. So thank you, Dr. Janice, so much for taking time out of your schedule at your practice. I know everybody's being quiet or whatnot. You know, I just want to make sure that nobody miss a tooth or something because you're out there talking. So I want to thank you for coming on the show, and I look forward to connecting with you on so many other things, because I love your amazing story. I think a lot of you and your sister, because you all are really truly the American dream. You what it's about. Y'all bootstrapped it. It wasn't easy, and it's motivation and inspiration, because it's a transformation that y'all made. And I see why you're successful, and you're helping others be successful. So I just want to thank you for coming on the Author Spotlight today, and adding so much value to our audience.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on.
Anytime. Remember, I want to have you on the show. I want to see you making a difference. I want to see you be a change agent and a planet shaker, just like Dr. Janice. Until next time, be blessed and be great.